Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video has been in the works for a little while now. My comment section on my last few videos now has been, can you please talk about the Dave Chappelle thing? I want to know your opinion on the Dave Chappelle special. Fear not, I was not ignoring you. I was, gathering as much information as possible. It's a long special, I wanted to watch the full thing, really digest it all. But then a few days ago, Dave posted to his Instagram another clip of him doing some quote unquote comedy, some jokes, and he kind of doubled down on what he was saying. So I figured I can't wait any longer. This video needs to be made and I need to get my thoughts out there. I need to take him down. I need to cancel him. All in a day's work, If you don't know what I'm talking about, the comedian Dave Chappelle actually had a special release on Netflix. And in this special, he makes a lot of jokes about trans people and LGBT people in general. And people are rightfully upset. I watched the special and it's not good. But yeah, I post new videos twice a week here on my channel. So if you guys are not yet subscribed, go ahead and do that right now. I'll wait for you. Go ahead. Are you done? Thank you very much. Make sure to follow me over on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok to keep us up to date with me as possible. And yeah, with no further ado, let's get right into this special. That's it. The special. Before we continue, we're going to take a quick second to talk about today's sponsor, HelloFresh. Now, if you're anything like me, you can't cook. But that being said, I do really, really want to learn, and I want to be able to create dishes that are good and, healthy and all that kind of stuff. And that's why I really, really like HelloFresh. With HelloFresh, you can get mouth-watering seasonal recipes and fresh, pre-measured ingredients delivered straight to your door. And if you didn't know, the average trip to the grocery store is about 41 minutes. Plus, you're not only saving time, you can save over 30% when you shop with HelloFresh versus grocery shopping, in a store. Each week, they offer 50 menu and market items, including sandwiches, ready-to-eat salads, and soups. Gotta love the soups. They offer a variety of quick and easy meals. They include 20-minute meals, easy cleanup meals, easy prep meals. They have a family-friendly version. They have a calorie-smart version, a pescatarian, veggie options, whatever fits your lifestyle best. And let me tell you, they are easy. Okay, I did it all by myself. I was so proud of myself. No help at all. There was less running around and aimlessly searching for the ingredients that I needed. It was all ready to go. HelloFresh sources its produce directly from farmers, so you're getting very, very fresh produce. And you actually get the produce faster than you would if you got it from a grocery store. Plus, the packaging that they ship the food in is almost entirely recyclable, so I don't have to feel bad about, getting another package sent to my door. It really helps introduce me to a lot of different seasonal meals that I wouldn't necessarily know about. For example, right now they have a pumpkin cinnamon roll, mini pumpkin cheesecakes, apricot pecan biscuit bakes, and spiced lattes. Like what? HelloFresh has more 5-star reviews than any other meal kit, so if you're interested, definitely consider HelloFresh. You can actually go to HelloFresh.com and use my code LUX14 to get 14 free meals. Like what? Plus free shipping. Gotta love free shipping as well. Again, that was go to HelloFresh.com and use code LUX14 to get 14 free meals. Go. What are you waiting for? But yeah, thank you again so much to HelloFresh for sponsoring today's video. So before I start talking about the content of this special, I do want to give a couple little disclaimers, be a professional YouTuber, provide some disclaimers. First of all, this is not my attempt to cancel Dave Chappelle, to get him in trouble, to get him fired, anything like that. This video is just meant to provide another perspective to these jokes that Dave is telling to hopefully kind of balance out the negative impacts that they can have. Second disclaimer, I have watched the entirety of the Closer special, so I don't want to see any comments like, I bet you didn't even watch it, blah, 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 blah. I watched it, bitch. Keep it to yourself. I actually also watched the entire Sticks and Stones special as well, which is the special that he mentioned several times throughout the Closer special. So I got all the data. I got all the info, okay? That being said, I have not, however, watched any other videos or read any articles about it. Obviously, I know people are very upset. I've seen some tweets and stuff about it, but I haven't, looked into it too much because I wanted to form my own opinions. Wanted to be as unbiased as possible. The last disclaimer before we get started is I think there is a conversation that can be had about comedy as a form of quote unquote moral immunity, or whatever you want to call it. Basically the idea that you can be as offensive or damaging and problematic as you want, as long as you call it comedy. It was just a joke. Personally, as somebody who has studied media and the effects that it unavoidably has on all of us, I don't really believe in that. I think saying something deconstructive has just as much of an impact, if not more of an impact, when you say it in comedy or in this casual setting as it does in other genres of media. But yeah, that is the third and final disclaimer, and now we can get into the juicy bits. Ew. We'll just see the good part. My history with Dave Chappelle is limited to none. I'll admit before this whole situation arose, I had not watched any of his specials. I did not watch any of his comedy. Any of it. Nope, not at all. Which is surprising due to his extensive history of making fun of the LGBT community, or as he calls it literally every single time he refers to us, the BLGTs, or the alphabet people, or the BLTs, or... If you also are not familiar with Dave Chappelle, he is a straight man, not gay, not trans, none of the above, which I will say I do think it would make a difference if he was gay or trans, you know what I mean? I feel like gay people can make jokes about gay people, trans people can make jokes about trans people. If somebody is trans themselves, I feel like it's completely up to them to decide how they want to talk about their struggles or, you know, make art out of their experiences. The same thing goes for race or gender. I think if a black person wants to make jokes about their struggles with, you know, being a black person, I think that's fine. I think if a woman wants to make a joke about being a woman, that's fine. However, I don't think the opposite is true. I don't think it would be okay for a white person to joke about a black person's experience. I don't think it would be okay for a man to joke about a woman's experience. And I also don't think it would be okay for a cisgender person to joke about a trans person's experience. Dave brags about how he's been making jokes about the trans community for 16 plus years. And although I haven't seen them all, he admits that they used to be a lot more mean, because, you know, that's something to brag about, right? He proudly admitted that he used to use slurs. He actually named the slurs that he used to use in the special, but I mean, okay, whatever, damn. Let's just use our imagination. We don't have to get into the details of the jokes that he used to make. Okay? They were mean. Let's just leave it there. Usually I find infatuations of this size to be a little bit flattering. You know, it's like, cute. You're obsessed with me. I get it. But like, this is a bit much. It's a bit much. You're doing the most. Aren't you supposed to be one of the greatest comedians? There's a fly. You really have to resort to attacking another minority community to boost your numbers? You're really struggling that hard right now? Now, I'll be upfront and say that the special was definitely upsetting to me as a trans person. It hurt my feelings, you know, it got me good. Whether you care if it hurt my feelings is up to you. I really don't care if you care, you know what I mean? Like, okay, you're an asshole. I don't care if you don't care. Regardless of whether or not my feelings were hurt though, there are a few arcs throughout the special that I feel are potentially dangerous to the progress of the trans community. Again, I know that not everybody cares about the trans community's progress. You got me. You got me good. You don't have to comment about it, okay? It's fine. I get it. You don't care. Actually, wait. I forgot that I'm like a YouTuber. I should be playing into the algorithm. Comment away. Go off. Go ahead. Let me know how you feel. The Netflix special starts out, and while there are some funny moments, you know, I'll give it to him. There are some funny moments. There are also a lot of moments that are problematic and very clearly indicated where he stood on certain issues such as COVID. Like he says that he didn't even get sick from COVID, which is like, okay, are you trying to like, what are you trying to say? He complains about the increase of attacks on Asian Americans, then compares black people beating up Asians to his immune system fighting off the COVID virus, playing into the whole myth of COVID being this Asian disease, which is quite literally the reason that hate crimes against Asian Americans has gone up. I will say that he also does poke fun at anti-vaxxers and clarifies that he himself is vaccinated, so like, that's good, I guess, right? We'll give him that. We love making fun of anti-vaxxers. But after that, he doesn't waste much time before getting into the bulk of his content source. The alphabet people, or the BTLGs, or the QRF, I don't even know letters anymore. Ebblejew? What the fuck is an Ebblejew? But like LGBT. Is it really that hard? Like, just practice it like 3 times, I swear you can get it. But I'm sure he knows the acronym. He's purposely messing it up to try to play into this whole LGBT people being confusing and ridiculous and absurd, and they're making us learn all these acronyms. Again, we can learn it together. It's not hard. So like I said, there are a few arcs throughout the special that I think have, you know, transphobic roots, we'll say. The first of which, there's 3, if you're curious. The first of which is the proclamation that the modern day LGBT movement, or the modern day LGBT community, is too sensitive and too brittle. He takes the time to clarify that, you know, he doesn't have any issue with being gay, which is, thank you so much, love that. But rather that he just isn't a fan of these newer gays because, like I said, they're too sensitive and they're too brittle. And he then brings up the whole DaBaby situation to try to show how, you know, sensitive and brittle we are and the damage that we cause to, you know, good people's careers. DaBaby, a good person? Come on. If you aren't familiar with the whole DaBaby situation, I do have a whole video on it. You're welcome. But to sum it up really quickly for you guys, basically he said that people with HIV are dirty. He praised people for not being gay. It was a whole mess, and then afterwards he actually refused to apologize and doubled down on his homophobia, saying that if gay people want us to accept them for being gay, then they have to accept me for being homophobic. Sir, that's not how that works. Shortly after, a bunch of his shows were canceled because what music festival is going to want a performer that bashes a large portion of their customer base? I don't know when, do you? Every time I do something like that, I feel like Dora. Like, what do you think? Is DaBaby a dumb bitch? I can't. My favorite part of Dave calling us too sensitive, though, was when he said that we were being too sensitive and he misses the Stonewall gays. You know what the Stonewall people did? They started violent riots demanding respect and demanding equal rights. But calling out how what DaBaby did is problematic on Twitter is too far? Okay, Dave. The aims of the majority of the LGBT community is not to cancel everybody that doesn't agree with us or to get everybody that doesn't agree with us fired and ruin everybody's lives. I mean, I'm sure there are some people out there that would like that. Rightfully so. I'm just kidding, that was a joke. People being fired due to outrage over their homophobic or transphobic comments, that's a result of their personal or their public agendas not lining up with what their employer wants the brand to represent. Which, by the way, is well within their right. If you continuously say some fucked up shit over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, and then refuse to apologize and make it right, which, therefore makes the brand look bad, why would they want to keep you? Why would they damage their own reputation to protect you? Free speech and self-expression? That's cute. Now, the comments that Dave made, honestly, some of them were supportive of things that would benefit trans people. He talks about the North Carolina bathroom bills and how they were messed up and how they are ridiculous and, should never be a thing. But the way that he goes about it, and I know it's comedy, it's supposed to just be funny. Excuse me for being a little bitch or whatever, but it's shit's hurtful. And that's where this second arc comes in, and it's not about how we're too sensitive for Dave's liking. This one goes directly for trans people's bodies. He makes joke after joke after joke about trans women's bodies, about our intimate, personal, private body parts, and the entire time the audience is roaring with laughter. So even if he's saying that he supports trans people and he's saying that he supports these laws that protect trans people, he has millions and millions of people laughing at our bodies. Our bodies are frequently the reason that we're bullied, that we're demonized and ridiculed, that we're assaulted, and that we're murdered. He doesn't even stop at laughing at, pre-op or non-op trans women's genitalia. He also makes fun of trans women's strong jawlines, big noses. He mocks trans women's voices. He dead names and misgenders Caitlyn Jenner, claims that she's not a real woman, as well as quite explicitly saying that trans women's vaginas aren't real. Dude. Fuck off. What trans woman rejected you and hurt you so bad that she made you feel like you had to dedicate your entire career to bullying us and making our lives harder? It's time to move on. Now, the third and thankfully final arc of Dave's transphobic comedy is, unfortunately, the worst one. I think that these are the parts that most people have heard of, besides the impossible pussy or the beyond pussy jokes. In this arc, he basically says that trans women are not real women. Not in those words, of course, but he does make it very obvious that that is his opinion. And now when I say that trans women are women, I do not mean that trans women are the same as cisgender women. I do not mean to say that they have the same experiences or the same struggles, anything like that. But I am saying that we are both women. Okay, moving on. Now to start, he implies that Caitlyn Jenner isn't a woman. He says that her winning Woman of the Year would be the same as Eminem winning N-word of the year. Which, let me break it down. Caitlyn Jenner being a woman is the same as Eminem being black. Oh my god. Is Eminem transracial? Now, like I said, these comments do require a little bit of brain power to really understand what he's trying to insinuate. And I feel like they're also given a little bit of lenience due to the fact that they are in a comedy special. And for those reasons, people don't really view it as transphobic. But now, I disagree. I would actually argue that these subtle digs at trans people are actually more damaging than those explicit, overt attacks on trans people. Those comments tend to be a lot more shocking and unreasonable to the average viewer, and for that reason they don't stick with the audience as long. Playing into that cognitive dissonance that some may feel when they don't understand a trans feminine identity allows Dave to play into those caricatures or those stereotypes or the misconceptions that so many are familiar with. Caricatures, stereotypes, and misconceptions that hurt trans people, that get our rights taken away, that get us beaten and murdered by people whose only information on trans people comes from people like Dave Chappelle, who mocks trans people's experiences and laughs at their bodies. He brings up and defends J.K. Rowling, who, as we all know, has perpetually attacked the trans community on Twitter, in her books, and even in an essay on her own website. He emphasizes that he's Team TERF and that gender is a fact. First of all, what does that even mean? Gender's a fact? Okay, go off. Gender's a fact, I guess. He says there's man and there's woman, and then mocks the usage of they, them pronouns. It's time to move on. Get therapy or something. He ends the special by saying that, I'm done talking about trans people until we're all laughing, which I would appreciate if it were true. Like I said, he posted on Instagram a couple days ago and stood by what he said and defended his jokes for a few minutes before bringing up this documentary and, promoting it and telling you guys where you can go watch it. So, I doubt he really plans on slowing down on his transphobic jokes anytime soon. But can we blame him? We basically gave him a career with all the jokes he's been telling about us. Cut us a check, bitch. Too far? Too mean? Sorry. But yeah, that's about it for the special, thankfully. I hope Dave got whatever off his chest that he needed to get off his chest. To sum up his points, BLTs are a little too brittle, trans women have big dicks, and J.K. Rowling is his celebrity crush. Right? Something like that? Again, I'm not making this video to try to cancel him or push Netflix to fire him or take down his special or anything like that. I don't give a fuck. I really don't care. I just want people to be aware of the implications that it could potentially have on trans people and, you know, to do your best to try to break down those misconceptions that this special is building in your head. Because these misconceptions and these jokes and these awful portrayals of trans people, they stick with us and they affect us all whether we realize it or not. But all right, everybody, how long has that been there? I really hope that hasn't been there for a long time. But all right, everyone, what do we think? You think it was transphobic? You think it was funny? You think he has an excuse because it was a joke? Or, yeah, what do you think? Let me know. Like I said, I post videos every week here on my channel, so subscribe if you are not already and you would like to be. If you did like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up down below. And yeah, other than that, I think I'm going to go. So thank you all so much for watching. Thank you, HelloFresh, for sponsoring today's video. And yeah, I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye, everyone.
Whoop.